I know you're super excited to check out my game of Terraforming Mars with all of the expansions playing on the Hellas board, so I'm not going to delay any further. Just make sure you stay to the end to check out our tips and suggestions based on player number, player experience, and how long you want to play and how much complexity you want to add to the game. Let's play Terraforming Mars and all the expansions.
All the expansions? That's too many expansions. Okay, let's see what's in this box. So what's this?
Prelude. This.
What's that?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, I got a inset.
Oh yeah, this is great.
Hoverlord. What's a Hoverlord?
We'll find out. So we can have two sides. When you play with a lot of people, you can have it for easy reach on either side.
What are blue?
Blue's another color. It's 5.
Are there 5 players?
Yeah, plays up to 5.
This game.
But this is all of the stuff that you can do on your turn. You can just lay them out. 1, 2, 3, 4.
They're offered a Venus scale. This must be the Venus board. Oh my. I haven't even gone through this. This is your Kickstarter for Turmoil.
Those are little people?
I think so.
Oh, that's great. Hey, that's what I was waiting for.
And then this is the big thing.
Yeah.
Are these.
I know, that's why.
These just won't fit in there. Is that what goes in there?
Yeah, so you put your cubies.
That's the biggest problem with Terraforming Mars is that your stuff could move.
Oop. No need to not put it in there, yeah?
Okay. In the
oh, wow.
area.
I didn't even see those.
Those are for the colonies.
Oh, wow. And you put your cube in there to color.
Little spaceships, and you...
Oh, that's great.
You put a little cube in there.
Oh, I love it.
And it flies
I think it's
right
great.
off the table.
New corpse, 4 more. Wowee.
What does that mean? Is that Turmoil?
Yeah.
It might be.
Do not know. Democratic. Ooh. Oh, whoa. These cards look so different. Look at that.
Oh, so these
are separate.
These are what go on this
nice
thing. They move across here. We have delegates. That's what these little men are. They're
or
delegates.
women.
No, I'm pretty sure they're all men.
No, or they might not have hair. That's okay.
Oh, wait. This one's definitely a woman.
How can you tell?
She has a certain something about her. She's got a lot of attitude. She's gonna get things done.
Oh no. How are we supposed to experience and know all the cards if we don't, I mean, with 2 players, we're not gonna go through the entire deck.
We might. We'll play real slow and poorly.
Okay.
What if...
Are you just tricking me?
Yes, play slower. Do worse.
We have played on one of those maps before.
We have.
Do you remember which one?
No.
Okay.
Hellas.
Yeah,
This
see, this
new.
does not look familiar. Oh, it's Jupiter. Yeah, these are new. This is new. Let's do this one. Let's try it. Yeah, South Pole. This looks exciting. We're going to add all of our other expansions.
Prelude, Venus Neck, Colonies,
and Turmoil. This is an expert expansion. Turmoil is played together with the main game and may be combined with any other expansion and variant. It adds about 30 minutes to the game length.
Sweet.
Woo!
I wonder how much this adds to the game length. It adds 40 minutes.
No, you didn't even read anything.
It adds 70 minutes.
What?
I don't think so.
No, okay.
I think it's just a bonus.
Oh, that's great then, because I was thinking that maybe there's a corporation that gets you jump started and me like slow started. So now I think we should make several separate decks and we draw one from each of the different factions and then make our choice based off of that. I just feel like if I draw randomly and get 2 of the same kind, I'm like, oh cool, I don't really have a choice.
Guess I'm colonizing.
Yeah, I guess I'm doing that. And that's fine.
So there's also the draft variant where you're dealt cards and then you draft them. The argument is that if one person were dealt just fantastic cards and another person was dealt trash, that would be really unfair. But with the draft variant.
Let's take a look at all of these rules. Here's our 2-player Terraforming Mars with Prelude, Venus Next, Colonies, and Turmoil. Enjoy! We have everything set up on the table for all of the expansions and we are playing the Hellas map. We've got our 4 choices of Prelude cards, which we are going to look at and pick 2. We have our corporations. We have a variety of all the different expansions in here so that we have a choice.
Normally you would only get 2 corporation cards to choose from, and you would shuffle all of them together.
And then we also have our 10 cards, and we've decided to draft this game.
When we're playing.
Correct.
Not at this
So
point.
during our research phase, when we draw cards, we're going to draft them. All right, let's take a look at our stuff.
I'm the start player.
Oh yeah, you rolled a 6 and I rolled a 1. Classic.
Classic.
Yes.
So we're set at 20. We've got our little colonies ships ready to go. We have 5 colonies chosen. In a 2-player game, you get 5 colonies. Normally it's 2 more
Plus,
than the number
yeah,
of players.
yeah.
So if it was a 3-player, it would still be 5. Venus is up there ready to be. We didn't set up our...
Well, we just need to flip that card.
So we need to flip this card.
So it looks like the Reds.
And it says minimal impact policy. The influence of the Reds is strong, and some terraforming projects are halted with no influx. Water will slowly evaporate from the oceans.
Oh dear.
So when this moves over next turn, this turn there's none, blue will get a guy.
Okay.
And then this will happen.
We gotta flip
and then
that.
this flips over.
Yeah, and we add brown. Mars first.
And that puts a brown. And the reason it went here is because that was the first place to get it, and so then here
They're tied,
and you have to have a greater
majority.
than to move it.
Okay.
Yeah, local terraforming support. The local populace is greatly involved in cultivating life on Mars. Plant projects are especially expected to benefit from the long-term local involvement.
That sounds like my kind of people.
We are playing the standard rules where you start with 1 production in each area, but we also included all the cards from all of the things, all the expansions, the corporate age cards.
And Lewis says in a 2-player game, we're gonna get through all these cards in 1 game.
For sure. We'll probably have to reshuffle this deck at least twice. That one's amazing. That one's okay.
I think these are all really good. Wowee. Okay, I'm gonna take a look at these and see if I can synergize. Wow.
What do we do with the cards we don't want? Just throw them on the floor?
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought about synergy. That's just those cards look fun.
Yeah, I was like, it's got floaters.
Yeah. That's what it
Wait, what's an award?
milestone for us to consider.
Holy crap. This card is awards based. I've never seen it before.
Ooh, that's
oh man,
not
that
bad.
is really good. Can't see past this giant stack.
Ooh, what's this about?
Do you have a card you don't understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Floater.
Yeah, I've got some floaters too.
Well, whatever.
I know,
sure.
right?
So I have a question about the Prelude stuff.
Yeah.
Is that an immediate thing that we do, or can I save it?
No, you do it right now.
Then I need my 2 Preludes back because I have one that doesn't work with my hand very well.
Or-
This would have allowed me to build a card for 25 less, which is amazing, but I don't have any cards that are that expensive.
Oh, are you kidding?
I know. I would have been the most amazing thing.
Oh, well, you can't keep things. I can't believe you. Wow.
I have to pay for all this?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to do
Yeah,
that?
what is it? I always think it's 3,
1,
but it's
2,
4.
3, 4, 5,
Isn't it?
6, 7, 8.
No,
I think
it
it's
is 3. It
It's
is 3.
It's
Okay.
3. So I'm discarding 2.
Holy crap!
Do we have a discard pile?
Yeah, we have it here.
But they're
Wow,
both
you're
so similar.
keeping so many cards.
Yeah, I am.
Well, I'm not.
I don't want to keep them all. They're just all interesting.
I'm getting rid of 4,
Yeah.
so I'll have to pay mine when I do it. So you're first player, so you need to show us what happened.
Okay, so first I get my corporation. I start with
What?
54.
$54?
Yeah. Lakefront Resorts.
Yeah. Yeah, you
so
are.
here's 50. First of all, I have a little builder tag.
Yeah.
Anytime an ocean is built,
You get a forever
my income goes
dollar?
up 1. And whenever I build adjacent to water, I get 3 instead of 2.
Oh my gosh.
So that's my corporation.
What are your bonuses? Oh boy.
So I get a victory point. Plant income goes up 1, and I get $5.
That's just 1 card.
Well, yeah, that's a Prelude card.
I know.
So here I get 3 cards,
Okay. And you get a forever dollar?
and I get a forever dollar.
Gee whiz.
Well, a production dollar. and
Production
that's
dollar.
that. But I do pay for these 8.
So $24 back in the bag. Wow. I'm Corporation Victor. I get $45.
That's so much.
You start with 45. As your first action, fund an award for free.
Don't forget,
Woo!
That's your
and
first
I have
action.
an Earth tag, and my effect is when you play a card with a non-negative VP icon, including this, gain 3 ME.
Alright, so let's see your amazing Prelude cards.
Okay, so I got some cards that give me Forevers too. I got 2 tags.
What's that mean?
It means they are tags.
Sure. Wait, did mine not have tags? Oh, I got a wild tag.
Yeah, get a wild. Keep your wild tag.
The wild tag is any tag of your choice.
Yeah, wow. You can throw that in the garbage?
No.
Okay, so I get 1 titanium bonus, and then I get 4 titaniums just to be in there. Then I get a plant and an energy forever, and I get 2 plants in my plant pot.
Nice.
Yeah, right?
Then you got all those tags.
And then I have some tags. And then I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. So there's my 18. I have 30 bucks. Oh, we're
35.
almost there.
Very
And my
close.
first action is to do an award.
So are we ready to start playing?
Are we ready to start playing? Yeah, I think so. So Lewis and I just finished playing our game of Terraforming Mars with all of the expansions and pretty much everything that we could.
Yeah.
So we are super excited to tell you about our reactions and our experience, and then maybe give you some suggestions for gameplay. The first thing I want to start off with is the board. What do you think about the boards? We got the boards that have the insets with the tracks for each of these different sections.
For me, this makes all the difference.
So everything stays in the place it's supposed to. And if you've already played just the base game of Terraforming Mars, you know how often you're reaching across the board to grab cards, to play cards, to move pieces. And so you're constantly bumping the table and your elbows are swiping things. And so that's just a surefire way to make sure that you don't accidentally adjust any of your scores or your ranking or your progress.
Whatever you can do to get one, for sure get the boards if you want to play more than a few games of Terraforming Mars.
An addition to Terraforming Mars that absolutely jumpstarts the game in a wonderful, wonderful way. That is Prelude.
You're dealt 4 Prelude cards, you pick 2 of them, and then during the setup process, you also do these 2 cards, and they will give you a boost right out of the gate.
And it could be the permanent progress on your production track, just straight up mega credits, bonuses for buying cards, whatever those tracks are. Yeah, the tag. They're great because sometimes in Terraforming Mars, your first round or 2, they're so short and it's fast because you have very little money and you don't get much more. It takes a while to generate all of that production.
It would be 2 or 3 turns into the game before we really felt like, okay, now my engine's starting to cook. Now I can afford some of the cards I've been holding on to.
Yeah.
With Prelude, it's like turn 1, let's go. It just felt like it started where it kind of should have been starting in the first place. If you're buying expansions, you have to get the board. My first expansion is Prelude.
When you look at those 4 cards, and even if you're playing with beginners, you're not going to make a mistake. They're all just good cards.
Yeah.
So whatever cards you select, great. You're well on your way to Terraforming Mars.
And when you play your Prelude cards, you feel like, oh, I'm getting away with so much. And then you watch your opponent play their Prelude cards, and you think, oh, that's so much cheatery. You're winning the game because of those. So it's really a fun, surprising boost at the beginning of the game.
When you are dealt your corporation's cards, what we decided to do, instead of just get dealt 2 cards, we wanted a taste of all of the expansions and what they could potentially give you as for direction in the game. So we shuffled each of their decks for corporations individually. So what I'm doing is,
expansion.
I'm looking at all of these corporations and trying to figure out, oh, well, I really could do this or that or that. But we've played half a dozen times at least. So I think our experience with the game might have helped us. But there were the new expansions that we had not played with yet. And so we got the taste for those immediately before we started seeing the cards that were in the deck.
I think it cost us an extra 2 or 3 minutes. But if someone was new to the game and didn't really know what all the corporation cards meant, it would be really a disaster to give them 6 cards instead of 2.
Right. There were 3 boards. There's the base board, Hellas, Elysium. And so we decided to play on the Hellas side.
That was the only one we hadn't done previously.
Right. So for us, we just wanted to try everything. I don't think the maps matter as much as they might seem. I would play on any of the 3 and have exactly the same experience because the map is the map is the map.
Every time I'm playing, I would maybe roll a die or flip a coin or something, like a 3-sided coin, and try different maps.
So let's jump into some of the expansions. Venus next. Venus cards and floaters. Floaters.
And I really enjoyed Venus.
Yeah, so you have a Venus board, and it has its own terraforming scale. And you can pay, I think it's 15 mega credits to raise that, or the Venus cards are going to allow you to terraform Venus. And every time you raise that, just like any other scale that you've raised for temperature or oxygen or putting on an ocean tile, you get a victory point, a terraforming point for that.
Right.
So it's just another way to get points, particularly when some of those other scales have been maxed out and you're getting towards the end of the game and you're looking for victory points. And so that's one thing we appreciated about Venus.
I really did like that.
Venus is always there. You could just go and terraform Venus.
After you've done production, whoever's the start player makes one of the tracks go up.
Yeah, one of the 4. You don't get any of the benefits.
You don't get any benefits.
You don't get the victory points. We were able to strategically move tracks so that the next person wouldn't get the bonus on the track. So it really added to strategy even.
It did add to strategy.
Yeah. Colonies adds colonies, which give options for resources and opportunities that you don't necessarily get or can't get when you play your cards or do basic actions. I loved colonies. I loved colonies so much.
Colonies is cool.
Yeah, I use colonies a lot in our game. Oh, look at all these juicy opportunities. You have fleets that you send down, but each colony gives you a bonus, and you get to fly your fleet down for 9 mega credits, 3 energy, or 3 titanium. The versatility alone in how you pay for it, love it.
Yeah.
Love it. It's not restrictive. And then when you send your fleet down, you can get the bonus. And every single round, these markers move up and make each colony worth more and more when you go there to trade. And you gotta wait for the, you're like, oh, if I wait just one more turn, it can go up higher. But then, Lewis has first player marker next turn. He might actually get there before me, so maybe I should go now. So it adds a lot of strategy and it adds opportunity.
The amount of colonies that come in the expansion is high enough that you'll never use the same combination. So you randomly will take a certain number of colonies, which I think will change how every game plays. Probably expanding the time length a little bit.
I think because you have more choices when you add colonies, so you're thinking about that much more what you should do on your turn for your 2 actions and when you should do those so that you can take advantage of the timing because of the other players and what they're doing. I don't know if I want to play Terraforming Mars without colonies. I'm not going to say it's as essential as Prelude for beginning players and just for basic gameplay, but if I'm playing with people who've played it before, I want to throw in colonies. I thought it gave me that flexibility that I needed in the game because you draw cards and if you're not getting the cards, you know how that feels.
Yeah.
So
I would probably say where I think Prelude is a must, Colonies is probably the first expansion beyond Prelude that I would add.
Same here. Which then takes us to, I think, the most complicated and the most time-consuming expansion, and that's Turmoil. An expert expansion to Terraforming Mars? Yeah. You need to have more than just a couple Terraforming Marses in your pocket before you jump into Turmoil. But
if you've got those,
Yeah.
for sure add it.
for sure,
It's fun.
it's fun and
Yeah.
it really shakes up the game. You can start to see how they're going to change in the future rounds. But boy, every time you get to the end of generation,
Right.
then you have to go through
Turmoil.
We kept this between us with the list of exactly what we had to do. And then we had to go through and read it out loud every single time because
There's a lot of steps.
and we played 11 generations. Should have been 10 generations, but somebody kept the game going because they just wanted to play.
Overall, though, the overall game, it adds a half hour to an hour. Half hour if you know what you're doing.
To an hour.
Hour if you're like us. Maybe an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Maybe 6 hours. It might add 6 hours.
Yeah. So what you're doing in
yeah.
Turmoil is you've got this whole parliament going on with 6 different factions, and all these 6 factions are competing against each other. They have totally different agendas. One of the things that we like the most about it is that every single generation, the game gives each player one free person to send out to Parliament without any cost, because then after that you have to pay $5.
Sometimes one is all you need to send out. Haha, I'm going to get part of this bonus.
You execute the text on the card once it
Oh,
goes
the
down.
event?
Yeah, once it goes all the way down to the end, and then the party that's in leadership is going to get bonuses too.
They changed the rules of the game slightly.
They did.
So there's one party, the Reds, who anytime you score a terraforming point, which is a victory point, you had to pay $3. Or else you couldn't get the point. There was one that made all of our titanium pieces, which are normally worth 3, into 4. So suddenly we're
good.
like, well, I guess I'm dropping this asteroid that I normally can't afford.
So it does. It adds more time, but it also adds more. Who knows?
Just know it's a complicated extra step. So overall, we played a 2-player game
Yeah.
with all the expansions.
Yes.
We took 6 possible corporations and picked one. Flying to the Colonies, to Venus, we had Turmoil.
We decided to use the draft variant during
that
this
was true.
game. Yeah, and so we had not done that before. When I looked at my cards and loved them, and I didn't want to pass them over to Lewis, but I still think that it adds that much to the game that makes it more of a strategy game and a gamer's game.
So when you add everything together, with the exception of Prelude, which I think shortens the game, with 2 players who both really enjoy the game, who are having a great time, I mean, we had every card spread across the table. Kim used all of her cubes.
I was
to mark
starting to
things.
use my parliamentary people.
For 5 players, I think that would be just nonsense. If you're going to do it solo, add it all.
Yeah.
Have a great afternoon. If you're in the mood to terraform Mars and you have a whole afternoon and you want to spend it with your, friends or spouse or whatever, yeah.
Oh
do
yeah,
it.
for sure.
Tons of fun.
We did not get through the deck. I wanted to get through the deck. Our deck, once we added every card, was this tall. We did about, I'm saying,
About
2
a
fifths. By the end of the game, I had purchased and played 51 cards.
And I had purchased and played 7. To be clear, Kimberly crushed me. You beat me by 50% on top of my score. I had a great score and a great game, and Kimberly did 50% on top of that. It was
don't
those
know.
floaters.
I had some floaters. There was some sabotage on my part. I think I sabotaged him more than he did me, and that definitely helped me in a 2-player game.
When you're considering how long a game you want to play, not only does every expansion add new things to do and some extra time, it also adds more cards to the main card deck. As Kim said, we played with a big stack. And that might mean that you don't get certain cards for your strategy as frequently as you might want to. If you're only using the main deck and maybe one expansion, you'll know which cards are there and you'll get to those cards sooner. Having a huge deck could potentially, get you.
If you are a lover of one card in the entire deck, which I am, and you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
I love Life on Mars, Finding Life, Survive Life. What is it?
No one knows what it's
No one knows what it's called. But what you do is every single round after you play that card, which is super cheap, you flip the top card of the deck, and if it's got a plant icon, then you found life on Mars and you don't win the game, but it's so exciting.
You get like 3
You
victory
get like 3 victory points. It's great.
When you sit down to play Terraforming Mars, you really do need to ask yourself, how much time does the group want to spend on this game? And if the time is an hour, hour and a half, maybe one expansion beyond Prelude. But if you're wanting an epic game and everybody has played Terraforming Mars a few times, throw in a second or third expansion.
Yeah.
It will extend the game, but it does take longer. So just know that each expansion beyond Prelude is going to add time and complexity, but it's also going to add new strategies and excitement.
Let me know what you think in the comment section below. What expansions have you played? What do you particularly appreciate about new components and new strategies and techniques that you've employed? I want to hear your experience. You've got ours. Also, keep playing Terraforming Mars. It's a great game.
It's fun.